Hi guys, PureBallin here, and today I'm going to be showing you a class guide for the assassin in the new PvP game that's just come out called Forge. Be sure to like this video and subscribe for future content because I'm going to be bringing you a lot more Forge videos, and to keep yourself up to date, hit that subscribe button. So let's get started. Now the assassin is pretty much your basic sort of rogue class. If you've ever played World of Warcraft or any other fantasy MMORPG, you'll know what the rogue sort of class is like. You know, it's basically a ninja, it's a melee class, and it does a lot of damage, but it's not a very tanky sort of class. So let's go through some of the attacks. I just want to state now though that the binds that I'm using are going to be completely different to yours when you start up the game. So be sure to bind the abilities how you like them. So let's get started on the assassin's attacks. For left click, I've got Strike, which is the assassin's baseline attack. It doesn't cost any resources and deals a moderate amount of damage. On right click, I've got my block. Just want to note here though guys that blocking does cost 10 resources, or energy if you want to call it energy, per block. So if you hold block for a certain amount of time and the enemy's pummeling damage into you, then it's going to use all of your resources very fast, and then you won't be able to use any of your attacks that cost energy. The next ability is Pantera's Kiss. You need to use this in conjunction with Puncture, which I'll explain in a little second. But what this does is if you use it without Puncture, it doesn't do that much damage at all. But what the ability is a curse. You put this curse on a target, and after about 5 to 6 seconds he then explodes with damage. The more puncture stacks you got on the target, the more damage it does. However, there is a catch to this ability. If the target is able to hit you, then he removes the curse. But I'll just show you what it does now. As you can hear the pulsing sort of sound, it then builds up into a final detonation. As you saw there, it took about 3% damage off. So, the next ability is Puncture, and I'll show you Puncture with Pantera's Kiss now. Puncture is a basic attack. You don't have to stand behind the target, by the way. It costs 20 energy to use, and it puts a debuff on the target, and it can be stacked I don't know how many times, but as it costs 20 energy you're only able to get 5 stacks on a target. But what it does is the debuff, it slows the target as well as puts a bleed on them. So let's just put 1 stack on for now. As you can see, it's ticking for 21 damage. That's about 1 to 2% damage over time. Now we've got 100 energy, let's do a few stacks on this target. 5 stacks, and as you can see there, he's bleeding for a lot. Obviously because this is a dummy, his health is regenerating immediately, but if this was a real player that would be doing a lot of damage whilst keeping them slowed. And while the target is slowed, you're free to just use Strike as well as any other abilities that you want to use. So let's show you Puncture with Pantera's Kiss. Now watch as he explodes with damage. That was nearly 40% damage taken, and if that was a real player that would be a devastating blow. After a Pantera's Kiss you could then reopen on the target and finish him off basically, which is a good attack, but remember there is a catch. If he can hit you, he does remove the curse. It's a good ability, but you have to time it well as well as being able to get out of there and watch him explode. The next ability is Shadow Shift. What this ability does, and this is good for versing a group, but what this ability does is it takes you and your target into the Shadow Realm, which is basically stealth, and it removes everybody else. So it's basically a 1 vs 1 situation for about 3 to 4 seconds. Now what this is good for is if they're, say for example, from my experience, pyromancers, they do high amounts of damage, and if your group's trying to push a tower, you can use this to take him out of the fight for about 3 to 4 seconds, as well as stun him as you're about to come out of the Shadow Realm. That puts him out of the fight for a good amount of time. Or you can use Shadow Shift to actually land a kill, but I'll just show you what it does now. As you can see here, it puts you and him into the Shadow Realm. There's no other targets here, just you and him. It's a good ability guys to get stragglers or to land kills on people. The next ability is Disorienting Strike. This is your basic stun. It stuns them for about 3 seconds or so. And again, this is great to open on someone, get a stun on them, do a high amount of damage, get a Pantera's Kiss, and then apply another stun and get out of there. Also, the stun's great for if you're in a trouble situation. For example, if you're about to die and someone is chasing you down, you can then use the stun and quickly get out of there. A good example is if this player was real and he was chasing me down this corridor and I was on low health, I could turn around, stun him, run up to the wall and jump away, and I'm gone. The next ability is Shadow Leap. This is basically Shadow Step. It puts you behind the target and it's got a range of about 21 meters. It's very good, and again it's good to get out of situations. For example, if these two were real players and they were nailing me, I could just leap to this guy and I'm away. If you want to use it to set up kills and you're chasing an opponent down, instead of just mindlessly running after him holding sprint, you can just shadow step right behind him and stun him, and he's there for the kill. Now the next ability, guys, is what any rogue or assassin class cannot go without, which is stealth. Stealth lasts until cancelled, but there is again another catch to stealth. If these were real players, because you have to aim everything anyways, and we were fighting in this corridor and it was my team against their team, I couldn't just freely run up and hit them because their arrows would actually get me out of stealth, so I'd have to find other means of getting to my target. And another catch to this, guys, is you cannot use abilities that require you to not be in the shadow realm, such as shadow leap and shadow shift. It puts you immediately out of the stealth realm, and shadow shift you cannot use when you're stealthed anyways, you need to be out of stealth. But if you use shadow leap, you can get to your target, but it does take you out of stealth, and because there's a cooldown you can't immediately vanish. So again, guys, use it wisely, and if you're trying to stealth to a target, just find a different route, don't mindlessly run up to someone. The next ability is a great utility tool, guys, Smoke Cloud. Now what this does is it obscures the vision of all your targets, as well as yours. You can't really see clearly through it, but it's a great ability to get away or to protect teammates. If you're being bombarded down this corridor and you need to try and get up to there, you can just drop a smoke bomb and everyone can disperse and the enemy team doesn't know what's happened, and once the smoke disappears they don't see anything and your team is free to find other means to get to your targets. It is a great utility tool though, guys. Again, if this was a real player and he was chasing me down, I could drop a smoke bomb, leap, and I'm away and he doesn't know where I've gone. And again, you can just use stealth and you're out of there. This concludes my assassin class guide. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Be sure to hit like and favourite, and don't forget to subscribe. I play all sorts of games and I release daily gaming content, and I'm definitely going to add Forge into the rotation because this game is completely amazing and it's just revolutionised what PvP is all about, and it takes a heavy amount of skill to get good at this game, which I've noticed because I've been getting destroyed by very experienced players. Thanks for watching the video, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.